and welcome to the God is a Geek podcast. My name's Adam Cook. It's episode 436, and I am joined by one Christopher White. Hello, Chris. How are you today?
I am marvellous, mate.
Getting those gifable things in early.
Oh, I wasn't thinking. Oh, yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, go on.
From downtown. Hello, Adam Carroll. You all right, mate?
Hello. I am very good today.
Did you enjoy the radio silence there for the audio listeners? Just me pointing at the screen. I've got to stop doing it now. It was good, wasn't it? Right? We are, of course, again live. This is what we do now. We do live podcasts. Apparently we do live podcasts. Adam's got a tasty beverage there. Not sponsored. Hashtag. Everyone good though.
Yeah.
Everyone. You know, as we record this live, we're not quite at the end of the week. But how is everyone? You know,
Good.
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Some seriously good weather in Ireland at the moment.
really?
Ireland.
Can we have some of it, please? No.
Why is it gushing poo-poo over there?
Just gloom.
It's
Just gloom.
Yeah, a bit windy,
Just
grey.
gloom.
Just
Yeah.
British
Not very nice.
British
It's all right
gloom.
here. Like we had Paddy's Day yesterday.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
You what?
Paddy's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone else seemed to be celebrating except the actual country itself.
Do you know, it's
But we
the-
did have a lot
no.
of people.
yeah. What doing?
What was I gonna
drugs?
say? We
The
did have a lot
drugs?
of people yesterday jumping. Yeah, plenty of. But there was a couple of people jumped into the river.
To celebrate.
What?
Is that
Yeah.
traditional over there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
joking,
but,
but
no, it's not.
Oh.
It's not. It's not at all. It's just people were out and about, like the city. I walked into the city yesterday that I live in, and it was pretty busy. It was pretty busy. Now the weather was serious. See, and whether we frown on that, no, I don't know. But like at the end of the day, we are kind of all sick of it. So I thought it was going to be impossible, considering the sun was out and it was Paddy's Day, that Ireland was going to be like, well, you know, lockdown, you know, can't do anything. So people had
Yeah.
a lot of family gatherings and things, it seemed.
well, I mean, that's a really positive, happy
Fair
note to
enough.
start on. I'm glad I asked the question. Really, Adam Carroll, what have you been playing, mate? What games have you been using to distract yourself from everything, I guess?
Well, aside from our Mario Monday business,
Of course, yeah. We don't speak about that on the podcast.
just get that out of the way quickly.
No. That just stays.
Well, I am.
No, but they're unofficial rankings, as it were, because Mario Mondays is a non-sanctioned esport. Okay.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
No, I have been playing Maquette. Is that the way we're saying? Maquette?
Don't know. Really?
I thought it was Maquette.
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 Like machete, like Maquette.
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah. Maquette. Yeah, so this is free on PS Plus. I don't know where it stands on other platforms.
Doesn't exist.
I think it's probably not free. It doesn't exist. It's not an Xbox or anything, no?
It's definitely not on Xbox. Might be on PC.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
This is an Annapurna game. And I think the last one of them I played was Florence, if I'm right in saying that. It's the last one I can remember anyway. This is another similar kind of... Chris, you reviewed this, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Yeah. And I'm so about it. I think that like I enjoy these games and I haven't played one in a while. So I was kind of welcoming this straight away. With it being free, I was like, yeah, I'm up for this. It looks pretty nice. I don't think it's jaw-dropping. Now, I think the overall aesthetic is really colourful, and I think it pops in certain areas, but nothing, I wouldn't say like, oh, this is the best looking one of these that I've seen. The story, now the voice acting first off, I want to say, I cannot for the life of me remember the actors. I know there's someone famous anyway. Chris?
Bryce Dallas Howard.
There we go.
And I can't remember his name, but it's her real life husband.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. So it's kind of just about their relationship, pretty much, in this game. Not their actual real life relationship, but
Happy
But
stuff.
it literally is about the
Oh.
relationship. Like nothing. There's no supernatural elements or anything else. It's just literally them falling in love and growing up in it as a couple.
no, no, you touched on something there, Chris, straight away that I kind of need to say, and it sounds like I'm just being a bit of a sour puss on the situation, but look, a relationship like that within this game, I just think like the kind of vocabulary used, the expression that they use, it's all performed really well. I just feel like, sometimes I'm a bit like, just kind of get over it, get over yourselves. It's a bit too. I love you so much. The smell of you is so incredible. Like it's kind of, it's delivered in that kind of fashion that at times I'm a bit like, all right, but then like it pulls you back in enough to kind of make me feel like, all right, I care about this, but like as you progress through this world, or maquette, if you want to say, which is like a little like sculptured model of what you're
word.
actually in.
Like, because I wasn't sure. So a maquette is a maquette is a thing. It exists. It's a
Yeah.
okay.
I had to Google it for the review because I wanted to make sure that when I was calling it a maquette and not the actual game title, it was a thing. So yeah, it's classed as a sculpture.
It's good to know that we still have proper journalists on God is a Geek that can Google things to get through. I'm just pleased that we're up there with the rest of the industry to hit that Google or Wikipedia
I want to
up.
provide the right information. Yeah,
no,
Wiki all the way.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Citation needed.
But you got that set up in the middle of. It's a smaller version of the world you're in, and you use this to basically take objects out of that little world. And when you take them out or place them in there, they get bigger, smaller, whatever way you kind of do it. Now, that kind of gameplay mechanic is kind of like the selling point of probably why you'll play it, because it is pretty cool, and it works for the most part. But I think when the puzzles start happening, it just, at times you can really be stumped when the game isn't actually like, it's not a hard game, but some of the puzzles are a bit like, oh, all right, I must use that again. Like you use an item, like a key, and then you might need to get that key again at some stage, but you wouldn't think of that for a long time because you've progressed into the next area, and it almost feels like, oh, I have to go back and get this thing and bring that over here too. And it's kind of these small things that I just kind of went, oh, for God's sake, because it's not a very long game, but you'd spend a lot of time figuring that out.
Right.
And I don't think it makes you feel like satisfied. It didn't make me feel satisfied, like, oh, I'm genius. Oh, of course, that's what it is. It was like, oh, right, yeah. And like it and the idea is when you're using those items, it is cool. It does work quite well, but it got a bit tiresome after a while because you don't actually get the opportunity to interact with absolutely anything else in the game. There is one particular moment where you go to, like, well, what comes out is like a fun fair, a carnival kind of thing, and there's all these like
hook a duck and like throwing balls at like the Skittles and stuff like
guns
that.
are set up to shoot things,
Ferris wheel.
And I was like, oh yeah, why weren't we able to interact with those things?
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed with that.
Do you know,
there's a lot of that in the game, but that particular one, because there is so much kind of set up there, it's like a waste of design, really.
It is. It's unusual considering what the game is going for and like the length of it in general. They could have like gotten another half an hour to an hour maybe of gameplay out of those things alone, those small things, just to bring more kind of story to it as well, I guess. Because the audio design, go on ahead.
You're making it sound like PlayStation Plus is the correct place for this game to be released. Do you know what I mean? And I know that sounds a bit shitty, but like you add games to library on PlayStation Plus, you don't have to download it, but you can get it later. Well, I've done that with the intention of playing this because there's not a lot new coming out at the moment, really. And I haven't downloaded it yet. And like, I read Chris's review, and I was like, because I feel like when you see Annapurna, usually the bar's fairly high, and
absolutely.
high. This didn't sound like it was hitting that Annapurna bar, and you're really not selling it at all. Like you're
no, but like you see, it kind of like it just the idea as a whole is really cool, but it just feels like you're kind of just almost blagging it at times. You're like, like as I said, the sense of discovery and like accomplishing the task at hand isn't really. I never felt like I nailed that perfectly. I knew exactly what I was doing there. I discovered that in my own brain. Now, the one thing I will say is that the audio design here also does something very bizarre. From the moment you start this game, music begins, which is normal for video games to have music, but these are full-blown songs from certain artists, I guess, whatever. Now, like you start walking, as I said, the moment you start, and there's this person singing this song on an acoustic guitar, and there's drums and stuff, and you'll be kind of like, okay, this is the game you're going, and eventually, about 2 minutes into it, you already go, this song is still going. Like, what's the story here? And each area you go into, a brand new song starts. Now, I think it's the third area, Chris. It's kind of
like a beach.
A beach. There's the song that begins.
Big fan of it, yeah.
Really?
It just wasn't the one, and it was very annoying. And I was just like, this song needs to end.
It was very out of character for the game. It just didn't fit. Like,
that's what I mean.
I get that they'll have like you won't, and Adam won't, and I won't listen to the same genre. Like, we do step out of it, but it just doesn't fit in with the game, and not because it all has to be all sappy or melodramatic or melancholy or whatever, but it's just too out of place. It doesn't really work, and you do have to listen to the whole song. Yeah,
like it was just small, but then the audio uses a good quality where, like, for example, when we were talking about that playground there or the fun fair area, you can hear the sounds of people who were there enjoying their day out and stuff like that, and it uses that pretty cool. Look, like it's a good enough game. Like, it's good enough. It's nowhere near bad at all, but it's not like groundbreaking. I think it's just, as you said, Adam, like it's almost doing a disservice to say that it's like being on PS Plus is the right place for it to be. I just think it's a great move, because I feel everyone would play it and just be like, yeah, that's pretty nice game. Like, and I don't think there's a lot of these styles of games.
I think that's what put me off. I think I want, like, I feel like I don't want to be that guy that's like, there's no games coming out, because there are still games happening, but I think there's not the massive, like, you know, kind of waterfall of them that we'd normally get, and I'm just not really up for this kind of game right now. I kind of want something that, I guess, a bit. I'm still on that sort of arcadey kick where I want things to feel good in the hands, as it were. And I don't think this is going to deliver that for me. I think I'll pass. That's what I'm saying. I think, in a way.
Yeah, like, you know, like when I played Florence, like, as we said, like that Annapurna bar, like Florence just would have a kind of a similar level of emotion carrying out throughout its game. Like, but Florence was just like it just.
And it's like, because they did Edith Finch as well. They published that, and so that's kind of like the walking sim of the last few years. It was like amazing and really
Sayonara Wild Hearts was them, wasn't it? And that was different,
which was fantastic. Yeah, that was another fantastic game.
Like that. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you played anything
good.
that you,
I think, look,
that you like? Because
nothing really else at the moment. Like, you know, I'm playing Diablo 3 again. But like, Jesus, if I start talking about that, we're going to be here for the rest of the podcast.
Really? You're that into it again. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That loot.
Chris White, what have you been up to that you can talk about?
What have I been up to? So, I've been on Odyssey again. I've been back. I've over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've barely touched a console other than the Switch.
Yeah.
Like the Switch, I've just been glued to it. And I'm like what with Mario World, which we talked about last week, and Bowser's Fury, like I went back to Odyssey, replayed that, finished it, and then I'm going back and doing all the bits and pieces and finding stuff I didn't find before. And I'm just really loving the Switch at the minute. I think it's been a really good console for this kind of time, and I'm really having fun with it. But I've been back on Avengers.
Oh, I downloaded that to get the next gen update, and I mean I didn't dislike it.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that. Like I played through it, finished it, and then I did loads of the side missions, but they just got repetitive.
I remember you saying at the time that you were just slowly running out of fun, sort of thing.
Yeah, you'll go. For those that haven't played Marvel's Avengers, it takes place in specific levels that they're kind of quite big, but they're all very much encapsulated in itself, and that still persists afterwards. So once you've done the game, you'll go and do like a raid, for example, like not to Destiny's levels, but you go and do that, or you'll go and do some side missions, which are essentially going free some scientists, or collect this, or open these doors, and whatever. So it all gets a bit repetitive, and the problem with it is the levels were still the same, and like there was nothing different about it. And then when you're not putting content out for it, people will fall off it. And it took a long time for any kind of new content to come out. And then they released the new Avenger, which was Kate Bishop, which is a weird choice, but I think it had something to do with Chadwick Boseman's passing, because they were all set to introduce Black Panther. Like Black Panther's
which
huge.
they've announced, haven't they?
But which they've just announced about an hour ago.
Yeah.
And they said they had Kate Bishop, and she's not even Hawkeye. I mean, she's not bad, but I don't want to get into the whole Marvel thing. But anyway, they put that out, and there was new story content, and there was a few new settings. And it's actually all right. The story itself, like even in the main campaign, you've played it. It was decent enough, and it managed to
never finished
utilize all the Avengers really well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not far in. I just liked what I played, and then I got distracted with something else. I really want to finish it.
They do a great job. They do a great job at the end with kind of bringing in a new threat, which could potentially be played around with, like later updates or whatever, that comes from outer space. But with Kate Bishop, she carries the story along, and then the new update, which I believe has gone live today, is with Hawkeye. And not only is like he been brought into it, but there's this villain called Maestro, which is like the Hulk from the future.
Mm-hmm.
And this Hulk from the future is basically a warped version of Bruce Banner, where he's been affected by so much radiation, years and years on, that his mind's kind of twisted. And like, in the comics, he's foul, like he's horrible. But he's like one of the best villains that Marvel have had, and like seeing him in it's quite cool. So I'm actually looking forward to download the upgrade and get onto that, because it does feel like it's moving in the right direction. But I don't know if it's just I think it's just taken too long for them to kind of get to a point where people will be sticking with it. I
was just going to ask, do you think it's too late? Do you think at least by going because the new gen version with the shine, do you think it is too late? Do you think that it's kind of this blood in the water, so to speak?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be going back to it. Like there'll be a few like that might come, the new update's out, let's go and have a look, and then they'll play it. I want something to play on my
PlayStation 5 and my Xbox Series X.
Because even though there's like new story, it's the other missions that just get repetitive, and it's so much better when you've got people to play with. But if no one's playing it with you, then it's not a lot of fun. Like I would happily put hours and hours into this. Like if we multiplayed Division or Destiny or something. Like it has the potential to be amazing, especially with more than just yourself. But that ain't gonna happen because I don't know anyone that plays it. And like, if no one's playing it, I'm not going to go in, do the new content, and then go and come back 4 months later or whatever. But like the Black Panther stuff's coming out later this year, which looks good. Like the trailer doesn't give much away, but it looks like it's going to be set in Wakanda, which is amazing because the level design for that could be great. So we'll just have to see.
But do you
I'm not giving up faith. I will be sticking with it.
Yeah. Do you feel like they needed to push like a couple of new characters almost like with this update, not just Future Imperfect or whatever it is, rather than just that? They need like perhaps 3 or 4. So it's like here's a load of content for you to play.
They need big names as well. Like if they want to get like video game fans in, they need to be bringing in characters that not everyone would know, or at least like Spider-Man or Wolverine,
Spider-Man,
or even Black Panther.
I thought Spider-Man was like...
Well, I'm not sure.
Because he wasn't... Was it announced?
It was announced for this year.
Exclusive to PlayStation.
No, last year it was exclusive to PlayStation, yeah.
It's just...
But then there's been nothing else.
Huh.
Yeah, exactly. This is what seems to have happened. They've just... I don't know what's happened there, but there just doesn't seem to be a plan. It just seems to be quite sporadic, these announcements. But, I mean, one of the big things with Marvel's Avengers for me was the horrific load times. Like the load times are horrendous because you die and you have to wait 10, 15, 20 seconds. And if you're struggling and you die, it takes a while. And then when you load into a mission, it takes forever. And like when you finish a mission and you load back into your helicarrier or whatever, it takes forever. So like, I will be trying out the update to see how quick that is, because if it's like instantaneous, like it does appear to be like with most PlayStation games, then that'll be a plus factor anyway. And like the visuals were never bad, but like with it, they've updated like the destruction mechanics and how sorry, not mechanics, like graphics. So we'll see how that plays into it. But like
maybe we could stream it or something. Maybe because like I really want to. Apparently, it's really awkward to get your PlayStation 4 save onto 5. So maybe I'm just going to start again, and maybe we could like play together or something. Because I really do want to play it. I really do, But yeah,
I'm happy to. Yeah, I'm happy to give it a go because it'd be a good game to just drop in and out of, and especially with the new stuff. It feels like it's a good time because the story continues after. I mean, the campaign's not short by any means, but there's even more of that, and it'll be good just to kind of flow into that from finishing the main campaign. So Avengers, I've been on Avengers. And then other than stuff that I can't talk about, I've not really played much else. I played some racing games, but I can't even remember.
No, I don't. I mean, probably avoid.
I won't, do you know what? I will
case.
just quickly say,
yeah,
Monster Truck Championship. I'm not planning to win any fans over like with you two to play it, but it is actually. I saw
the trailer and I thought it looked really fun. Like we've had a lot of racing games come through, and
I've never played a Monster Truck game.
And this is
I hadn't until
it looks
last
really fun.
year, because it was on like released in October, I think, on PS4, Xbox One, and whatnot. And like it's dead straightforward. Like it's all very much like your career is do a race, do an event, next event, do that event or race next, and then it's dead quick. And then you level up. You've got loads of different kind of designs, like loads of decals for your truck and new wheels, and you can adjust, like spend points like usual to improve your suspension. But the actual racing, because I've played a couple of Monster Truck games actually, and it's the best handling on a Monster Truck, and it's also just a lot of fun. Like the race is a lot of fun. It's you don't expect it to be as delicate to drive one of these machines, but it takes a lot of kind of skill to get good results in it. It's worth shouting out because you don't tend to think about playing a Monster Truck game, but it's actually quite good.
I like when you say how delicate it is to drive and skill or whatever. I actually get that, right? Because like I remember in the first lockdown, I started playing Snow Runner, those kind of games.
Yeah.
We remember.
And I was like, "What's this game going to be like?" And I was just like, "This is banging." This is great fun.
I think you get some like if it ever did go onto like I'd say Xbox Game Pass, but you don't have that.
No.
But if it ever did come to PS Plus, I wouldn't buy it. Like I don't love it that much for you to buy it, but it's certainly if you can get your hands on it somehow, Yeah, it's good.
How much is it, do you think? Is it a 70 quid kind of job?
No, I would have thought. Well, it's an upgrade.
Like, how many Monster Truck fans are out there?
If you buy on
Like-
PS4, I think you get the upgrade to PS5.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
whatever it is on PS4.
That's true.
So yeah, but that's about it. Other than the demo,
Okay.
which we'll talk about
Well, before we get
in a bit.
before we get to it, I've been playing the PS5 version of Crash Bandicoot 4. The PS5 version of Crash Bandicoot 4. Did either of you play Crash Bandicoot 4 at all? Like
The demo,
Okay.
No,
just
Adam,
the
you
demo.
Adam didn't play it.
I'd like to.
Why haven't you, may I ask?
I just never got around to like. I can't remember when it came out. Like, was there something else, or was I still playing something? And I said I'd wait a while, and then it just slipped by, and that was just that. I'd like to give it a shot, but then I don't know. I've no reason really. Like, I should be giving this game a go. Like, is it worth it? Is it worth the full price for it?
It's a
Like, not this. I hate saying that for a game like this, but
it.
Like, it's just really hard.
Yeah, like it's really hard. Like I don't want to. I sort of thought and ahed about talking about this because I don't want people watching it going, oh yeah, see, people can't play these games. It is really hard. Like, I'm going to put some gameplay up there for people to watch. Like, I recorded this today. Like, it's a beautiful looking game. Like, beautiful looking game. Like, I love how they've done it. I will say, it loads quicker. The game does load quicker.
Yeah.
But as for like it being this, oh my god, the upgrade is unimaginable. It's not that. It's just a nice upgrade. And yeah, go on.
No, I just want to say, right? Do you know what got me because I'm looking at the footage here now, and
Yeah.
it looks a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
like what got me is some people were saying, yeah, it's just it's Crash Bandicoot. Like, it's good.
And
it's good.
is, but
And I was a bit like it. But I was like, is that it? Because if you think about it, I vividly remember when I went from Crash 1 to 2 to 3, and I thought each one just brought in something that made that title stand out in the series on its own merit. But 4, it was the first one that
it
everyone
does.
was
That's not fair. It does bring in, so each sort of world you travel to kind of gives you like a different mask, so that there might be some footage coming up there where it's going to be a while away because I record this there, so it's like you phase in and out of a world, so to speak. So it brings platforms. So you press R2 and the platform will disappear or reappear, and it's like because it's switching dimensions almost, as it were. Like it just. The thing is, right? If this had came out, if they hadn't re-released them, with what do they call it? Insane Trilogy, wasn't it? I think the 3.
Yes.
If they hadn't done that,
Yeah.
I feel this would hit harder because it feels great. Again, people watching it on the stream can see it's Crash Bandicoot, and that's. I think the biggest problem this game's got is that 3D platformers have progressed. Like Mario, for example, is, Chris mentioned Odyssey. This is not that level of do you remember that? Remember Mario Odyssey, Mario Sunshine or something? Now look at Mario Odyssey. It isn't that level of game. Like it isn't a game changer like that. It isn't this insane. It isn't, but it is fun. The thing I find about it the most is that I can only cope with a couple of levels at a time because you die so many times. A 5-minute level takes 20 minutes to get through. So in 2 levels, you've played.
This is my problem with the demo,
and it gets worse and worse. Obviously, it gets harder and harder. The boss fights are really cool, but as I say, the issue for me is that, like I say, you literally you'll play. I mean, you're watching it probably if you're looking at the video stream now. You're seeing me literally die over and over again on something that is fairly simplistic, and I think that's the trouble. Is for me, I want to get all the crates. I want to get them all so I get 100% per level.
Yeah,
and that is really the hard. That's adding difficulty
there.
Well, no, but it's adding difficulty to the level that's already fairly hard because you don't have health. Even Mario changed to health. Do you know what I mean? Like you're watching this section here, I finally made it, and I go off to do a checkpoint. I go off to do one of these little. It's still got this. It's still got all the bonus levels and stuff. It's still that guy there. I just got. You see, that does the. You should be able to. Terrible for the audio, but you can. I've died straight away, so I give up. But you can. I've just given up. I've carried on. But again, one hit, dead, because you haven't got the. I think is it Wumpa Wumpa?
Yeah.
No, that's the fruit. I can't remember. It's better about a lot of things. It's more modern in that it gives you checkpoints a lot more. It's more modern in that you now, rather than you can play it the classic way where if you die enough, it's game over. But you also can play it in a way that all you'll see, and I might be able to bring this up now, in the corner when you die is a death counter. So rather than you being punished by like game over, you have to start again, you'll always start again at the checkpoint, but your death counter goes up. So rather than having 10 lives that tick down, you start with 0 and it ticks up per death counter. So, but you're never really punished, if you see what I mean. But then also, if you complete it without dying, see there you go, like 9 deaths on that level. They just popped up in the corner there. I don't dislike it. Like it's a really, really strange thing I have with Crash Bandicoot 4 because I totally understand why people really like it, but at the same time, I can't sit down and just play it for ages because I just felt like at the end of recording that, I just was like, no, I've had enough now. I'm stopping, and that was it. And I'll go back and I'll do the same again.
And then you turned on Demon Souls.
I was just about to say it's the Dark Souls of platformers.
But that's what I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking when the Insane Trilogy came out, I remember buying that day one, booting it up, playing the first game, and going, "Holy smokes, the difficulty!" Like, and I don't remember that. I remember kind of breezing. I wouldn't say breezing, but I remember playing through Crash as a youngin and getting along just fine, and not ever sitting there going, "This is destroying me." But like, is it just that? Is Crash just a really, really hardcore platformer? And is that just what that game is?
I think it needs to be more... Like, I don't know whether I should be playing Crash 4 with the D-pad or the stick. Like, I start with the D-pad and then I just feel like I don't have the control because it's 3D. So, it's 3D, let's use the stick. And I don't feel like I'm ever 100% in control of my Bandicoot. I don't know, man. It's a tough one. Why are you smiling at?
No, just your Bandicoot.
Yeah, my Bandicoot. Like, it's funny enough, there's a level called A Real Grind because it's all about grinding. And I don't know, man. I want to recommend it because it looks so nice and it does play well, but it's mega frustrating. Like, it just is. There's no two ways around it. I played the Monster Hunter, he said World. I've written World, I mean Rise. Monster Hunter Rise demo. Has anyone else played it? Or is it just me?
Yes, and I died a lot.
Oh, did you see? So the first demo, I just played literally a couple of hunts online, and it's kind of almost like a podcast game, like just the sort of thing we'd be listening to this and playing through them, just running around. I was talking to my boy about this game because he was saying he was looking for a new game, and I said, "Have you tried Monster Hunter World? Because I think you'd like it." And he goes, "Well, it's a bit old now, and I get kids want the new thing, don't they?" So I said, "Well, there's isn't there a demo for Rise?" He said, "But isn't that demo kind of bad?" And I thought about it, and I thought quite hard about it, and I thought, what does he mean? And I think it is kind of a bad demo because I don't think it is a good indication of the final product. Like, surely a demo is a demonstration of what you will be getting. I don't think it's a good demo because
what did you want it to be?
No. Let me explain. So take the what's the I can't remember the second, not Magnamalo and not the other one, the middle hunt, the intermediate one. But you know what I mean?
Okay.
In that, you can also go and fight a Rathian, okay? Because you can do that, can't you? You don't have to go and do the one that's the objective. You can do other monsters as well. And in that, you can go and fight a Rathian, and then the Rathian is a bugger for poisoning you, right? You know the one I mean? He does attacks, and it was in World, he's in all of them.
Yeah.
And they poison you. Now, in the real game, you can craft armors, presumably, I don't know about this game, but in all of the games, you can craft armors that give you poison resistance. You can basically make yourself invulnerable to poison in these games. In this demo, you are given loadouts to go and try them out and play against the game. And you get poisoned, antidote, poisoned, antidote, poisoned, antidote. You have to just basically keep doing that because you can't craft the armor. And to me, that made me realise that although the game itself looks pretty good, I think the game's going to be an awful lot of fun. The demo, to someone like my boy who's never played a Monster Hunter game, is going to put them off. Because half the game isn't there. And I don't mean the actual physical game. I mean, there's no crafting. There's no... I was playing with Chris White and Steve from our Discord. There's no point in even hacking up the monsters when you kill them. Because you can't keep anything. It's and I don't know what I expect. But I just thought to myself, this is kind of... People will be angry at me saying this. This is kind of the problem that Monster Hunter has always had. That they sort of fixed by making it more wider appeal with World. And although I think that Rise is a mix of World and old Monster Hunter, the thing is, this demo is totally not for the public. It is not to get new players. It is to give people like us, who already know we like it, a taste of the final product and get us excited. It is not a demonstration for newcomers. Because, you know what, honestly, the tutorializing in the demo is also shite. It's shite. Like, it is. It is not a demo in as much as, hey, you've never played a Monster Hunter. And it's that old, to me, it's that old thing rearing its head of, no, this isn't for you. This is only for the fans who've been here all along. And I don't like that. And I might be wrong, and the final game might be different anyway, but it feels like with World they took 2 steps forward, and that was great, and it was the online that was the issue. This feels like I don't feel like they've continued in that route. And I was talking to Steve about this, actually, and he was saying he wouldn't like it if there was like these 2 wildly diverse Monster Hunter games now, that one was going off in that direction, being, perhaps you get almost like Devil May Cry, it would feel like, really snappy, and they kept the old like Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. I wouldn't mind there being 2 Monster Hunter. I mean, there is now with stories, but I don't know. That's what I took. I'm looking forward to the final game. I really liked it. I finally found like this is fun. I enjoy this, but I also felt like, yeah, but I enjoy this because I'm in on it, and it feels closed off again. But I could be wrong. I don't know.
I quite enjoyed, because it's been a while since I played World. It was fun for me because I was. What I want to do when I get Rise is go into it knowing what weapon I want to use, and I want to kind of get used to the new controls so I can just go in and not be, fanning about and falling off shit when everyone's blasting their way through. And I've settled on the bow for now. I'm going to be like a ranged hunter.
Yeah.
And I've decided to then master that and then use the what's the light thing called?
Wire
bug, and kind of get used to that and how that works with the different monsters. And like I've not done the 30 hunts, and I won't do the 30 hunts.
No,
because at the end
I
of the
don't want
day,
to. I want to play the final game.
All along, I want to play the final game, yeah. But I've enjoyed playing the demo. But I get what you're saying.
Well, can I just
it's not exactly welcoming to new people.
But I want to add to that. Like, so I was playing with Steve and Chris Hyde, who are both like veterans. I came in at 4 on 3DS and Wii U, and I feel like their sort of nature of being veterans. It's not that I didn't enjoy it with them, because I did. But so, for example, I'm sword and board. I've gone this time with sword and shield. Okay, and Steve, I think, was like is it hammer? Is it a big hammer? And I was attacking.
Yeah.
And this was a big deal for me, because in the past game I ended up basically being a support role, stood at the back shooting like healing guns and rockets, and not rockets, bullets at them. And Chris Hyde was playing this role like with the the hunting horn, and he was buffing us like crazy. So I'm in there slashing away, hitting him, and feeling pretty confident. All of a sudden I'm staggering, so I'm literally hitting and then going like this, and then hitting, and I can't get a combo off, and I'm like, what's going on? And they were like, don't know. And then Steve went, oh, it might be because I'm doing this, that, or the other. He's doing something with his hammer, and his hammer attack is so powerful, it's stunning me. And I'm there like going, oh, well, the game didn't tell me any of this, and I'm just... And I imagine if you didn't have any idea about the game and you didn't know that or didn't have voice chat to speak to someone, like you're just constantly being staggered, and like it's like, well, it's not the enemy. Like this was like a long fight we were going through, and I was like, and eventually I was like, what the hell is going on? And that's a thing, and it makes sense. But
I get what you're saying. I think it's a fair criticism regarding the demo, because like that third, well, let's call it the second demo, like I went in on it and I was like, all right, let's just see how the challenge is like here, and being pretty familiar with World, whatever.
Yeah.
Went down, was on my little mount, and I found it, and I dived off in midair, and I was like, whack, and next to this tail just went poof, and just shot me across the map.
Yeah.
And then I was like, right, back at it, jump in, dead again, like straight away, gone. And I was just like, but I didn't even get a real chance there to like even
and
take
that again,
in
though,
its movement, its surroundings, and I was
again,
like, wow.
that is because, and they said this, that it's deliberately kind of hard because of your loadout, right? Which again says to me that demo is for the hardcore fans who are desperate for the full game, and it has nothing to do with being a demo. It's almost, I don't know, maybe I have a different idea of what a demo should. Again, I like the game. I liked what I've played of the game. That is something I want to make very clear. I'm not shitting on the game as much as I am. I feel like they don't want new people. Like I feel like I almost snuck in with World, and now they're like, "What are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. You didn't play Monster Hunter 2 or whatever it was called. You're not supposed to be here." And as for thinking that your friends and your children can play this, no, not at all. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I mean, the game seems good, right? Everyone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to get into it now.
Yeah. Feels like a long time coming, right? It feels like it's been.
Yeah, I really thought it was this week. If I'm honest, the game is coming out. I don't know why. I just was like, and I ended up pre-ordering it as today, like as a recording.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's next week. Damn.
Yeah, a week tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, it's coming out the same day as It Takes Two, isn't it? So I think there might. Is there a third game?
Look, weeks fly by. No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. What is time?
When Story Season's out.
It could be that.
That's out around the same time.
Yeah, it could be that one as well. I'm sure there's a third game. It Takes Two, Monster Hunter Horizon. I'm sure there's a third game. Let's do some listener correspondence. Yes, It Takes Two, Adam Carroll. It Takes Two. We'll give the live people in the chat, if they want to ask any questions, we'll give you about a 5 minute warning, because we've got a couple of pre. What's the phrase I'm looking for? I don't know, questions that have been sent in before the live show.
Correspondence.
Pre-pod correspondence. I'm not making up another new section. McPoo on our Discord. I get sort of afraid asking questions like about food when it comes to this podcast, because Adam Carroll's here. So I'm going to ask Chris first, if that's all right with you, Adam. Have you got any issue with that at all, or I just no?
It's fine.
Okay. What, Chris White, is your favourite mayonnaise variant? Examples are garlic mayo, chili mayo, pesto mayo, piri-piri mayo, mustard mayo, vegan mayo, etc., etc.
Kind of his face.
Yeah. Oh.
Garlic mayo.
Okay.
I like a bit of garlic mayo. Yeah.
Okay, that was any particular reason?
I like a bit of garlic mayo with some southern fried wedges.
Okay.
I always love dipping my southern fried wedges in garlic mayo. I also have it on the odd chicken burger.
Have you got
butter chicken burgers from Morrison's?
Oh, do you know I don't know if Domino's do it, but Papa John's, like, they put sauce. Like, if you order a pizza, they put like a garlic mayo dip in there. It's really horrible.
Yeah.
It's really,
you can do that.
rancid.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
It's rancid. It's like butter.
Oh, I love having my crust, dipping my crust in that bit.
Yeah, that's the idea. But maybe I don't know. So you're a garlic mayo.
Yeah, garlic and herb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adam, do you need time, or can I go, or do you want to?
No, all of them.
That's what I thought it would be. Yeah. Would you lay them all out, like
everyone?
And
I just lay them all out, one wedge, and I just go along the table into the gob, 2 thumbs up.
You're literally pandering to the gift master now, aren't you? Like you're, I mean, I'd go piri-piri because I like the spice. I like the spice. I do like the spice. Yeah, I'd go for a piri piri mayo, which you can make yourself quite easily actually. So it's like it's not a problem. I thought there's definitely a gif in what Adam did there.
Have you tried the vegan mayo? Can I just ask that?
I'm not vegan, Chris. I mean,
you don't have to be vegan to eat vegan.
Yes, we do. We've got enough food. Surely the vegan food's just for the likes of you. No?
No.
Yeah, no.
Can I just say, like, do you know Hellman's mayonnaise, okay?
Aware of it, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have a range of vegan mayonnaise, and I tell you, they're good. They are good. They are good.
But I don't want to. I have no need to. I'm not vegan. I like meat.
Next question, please.
I like meat, Adam Carroll.
Just whilst we're on the subject of food, can I just bring up the Pringles tin thing again? Have you had a chance to look into this, Mr. Carroll?
No, actually, I haven't. I totally forgot.
Right, so I've got it here. Just quickly, we were talking on the Mario live stream, Mario Mondays.
Oh yeah.
About
feels like a lifetime
ago. The person who came up with the tin.
Yes.
Buried in it.
Yes.
So Frederick Bauer, who dreamed up the original Pringles can, was buried in a Pringles can. And his son, basically, Frederick Bauer died after a battle with Alzheimer's. God bless. That's the sad part. Larry and his siblings, Larry is his son, they stopped by at a shop on the way to the funeral home to pick up a can for him to be buried in. And we were talking about what flavour he was buried in.
Yeah.
What did we go for?
I think we're all going to say original.
I thought you said sour cream and onion.
But that's what I would have picked. But
he wants to be buried in.
Yeah, he wants to be
buried in that. Yeah. But I think it would have been original.
It was an original. Yes.
Pringles master.
So there you go. That's my fact. I just wanted to remind you all of it. Because it's fucking brilliant.
While we're live, question from the chat. Ben Wild asks, I'm jumping ahead. Steve Chambers says alioli is the only mayo choice. Don't know. Ben Wild says, how far do you think that they will try to change up the future of the Monster Hunter series? I don't think they will, because they sell. Wasn't Monster Hunter World like the best-selling Capcom game?
The biggest
of all, wasn't it, of all time or
Monster
something?
Hunter Online.
Well, do you see? This is the thing. Do you think like there is a World 2? Because Monster Hunter World has cachet. The name means something. It did well. Would they do Monster Hunter Universe or Monster Hunter World 2? What do you think?
There's potential for them to do like an MMO, but I don't particularly think MMOs work well on console.
No.
Other than like if you got friends to play on Elder Scrolls Online, then it's amazing. But like, there's not many others that work, so it'd probably have to be PC, and I don't think that would work. So I'd be happy for a Monster Hunter World 2 or Monster Hunter Universe, where the place it's a lot bigger world, and the monsters are just kind of appear more naturally in a larger environment. But I don't know. I think they'll continue on with World, definitely.
I don't think they have to, and I think, because what I always think about when I think about Monster Hunter and what I would love it to be is the game that always slips into my head is that Scalebound that was cancelled. Because I think what I would, I think a Monster Hunter game, but with the feel of a Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, Nier Automata, kind of, the Platinum Games, the Ninja Theory, a Monster Hunter game that was Capcom's Monster Hunter, but felt like Ninja Theory or Platinum Games is kind of like Dream Games sort of territory for me.
Oh, that would be perfect.
But that's kind of what Scalebound
that would be amazing.
Looked like it was going to be.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
I don't know that we ever really will know about that game now, but it's just a weird.
I kind of would. I know what you're saying about like a kind of a Platinum game style, but I don't know if I'd fully want it, because I love how Monster Hunter feels.
Do you really?
I think like when you're. Oh, I do. I think the overall weight of every attack and the pace of everything, like it's because of its feeling, it's the pacing of every hunt is so good that you just feel nearly exhausted yourself because you're like, we've been at this for so long. Every hit counts. You're just like, oh, I hope this is going to get it down. That's a great feeling. I would love a fast-paced one, but just to go off of what Ben was asking there, I think it's going to be judged solely on how good Rise does here, because I think
Rise will sell mental. It'll be gangbusters.
There more than likely will definitely be a Monster Hunter World 2, but I just think like they want this to be a game that's on handheld, and if they can nail it on handheld and all the feedback is solid, they're just going to be like, brilliant. We can have this on the go all the time. Everyone's playing it. That's what they want.
Ben Wild with a second question. Do you have any hopes for the Avengers game with its added content? I think we sort of alluded to that. I think it'd have to be big. I think it would have to be big, like I say, almost like a pack of 3 or 4 characters with a massive story, like do you know what I mean? Like where you kind of like the main game where you play through all the different characters, but it has to be that added on, and I think it would have to be free as well. I don't think they could charge that for that.
I think they need to focus on the bigger characters, the bigger enemies. Do something like, there's a storyline called Secret Wars, where basically there's shite loads of villains and superheroes kind of fighting against each other, where they can incorporate more characters into this story, or even something like with the Avengers films, where Thanos was like the overall villain. If they did that, where these updates lead towards this kind of end game, pardon the pun, but like with Galactus or Beholder or something like that, where it kind of leads to a specific thing. And I think that might be what they were doing with the threat at the end of the main game, with what happens. But I don't want to ruin it because people will be playing
they will be. Yeah. But man, what I don't get is like in a world where, let's face it, like the most important thing to these companies is the business of everything. That's all that matters. They don't really care about the consumer. In a world where we all know this secretly, whether we choose to accept it and just get on with it or not, but where we all know this, right? How is it that Disney Plus has Marvel, has like Wanda and Vision for WandaVision, not a sniff of any kind of crossover in Avengers, the official Marvel's Avengers video game, which adds characters and does all that. What's the other one that's about to start on Disney Plus? Is it this week or next week?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Is it not? Is that not a gimme? Is that not literally someone throwing it up and all they've got to do is Like I just get.
Well,
fucking hell, man! They did this with the Mandalorian, with like Fortnite. How is Fortnite getting like Mandalorian crossovers, but Marvel's Avengers can't even have timed content? To me, this is almost like
Square Enix have just done the Lara Croft in Fortnite. So there's no reason why they can't do something like that, and it makes perfect sense.
They could get people back.
They've missed opportunities.
They you know what? Even
they would it.
Even though I'm saying they could, and even if they just retold some of the MCU stuff now, even if they just retold that, I still think that would be enough to get Marvel fans to go, yeah, I'll play through some of the Iron Man story, that film that I like. Make them episodes. Like, if this is a service game, which it is, you've done your story, kind of, I want to say read the room, except that people aren't going, oh, this is amazing, and go, what do they want? Because the combat system's good. The game is visually good. You've got the core. You need to fix. It's the same thing that they had with so many service games where the actual grind ain't fun. So turn it into a story game. What does
break it as well? Just while we're on the subject, is the microtransactions. Like the actual.
Yes.
Like I'm fine. I'm fine with this now in most games, because the games that I love don't require me to pay to win or they're more skins and stuff like that, and they're relatively easy to acquire, whereas like one skin in Avengers is like £8, and they're releasing a lot of different skins. There are a few ways to like earn new skins, but they should make them more available, because like, I want to go and play this game with loads of different kind of outfits for Thor and Captain America, whether it be from the ones from the film or from specific comics, but they're all so expensive. And like things like for your, like nameplates, like that costs a lot of money, or just all these different kind of like material goods that don't actually do anything. They cost so much. It just seems like a bit of a joke. And I don't know why they haven't. I suppose they're so far in now, they can't really change that service side of it. But it just seems like the cosmetics have been wasted. Like I like that. One of the reasons I love playing Fortnite is the different skins, and that yes, you can buy them, but they make them free like the Predator one with Fortnite. You just complete a few challenges and you have the Predator skin. Like they could do that. They could do that with so much of this game. They could give you proper rewards where you actually care about completing all the side stuff, but they don't. And it's so there's loads of broken bits from it. But I just hope with this, new DLC, whether it ends where it leads like it looks like it's going to lead into something bigger, which I hope.
I just have to say that I think in parts, not to shit on it, but I just think sometimes Square Enix have kind of made a balls of a fair few things now. Like they get these huge things, and it just it blows my mind that an Avengers game exists, and it's just there. Like it's just there, and it like it wasn't long till it was down to half price when it came out.
The trouble is,
for the
business thing,
that it is.
But it's the business thing, because the game, I promise you, the game itself, the single player campaign is fun, it's well written, and it's just kind of, I kind of think it's cool. Sure the problem is you've got the people probably wanting to make the game here in this little box, and then this massive circle around them going, monetize it to all fuck. And there's no route back from that. Like Chris has just said, £8 for a skin. I'm sorry, is it 10 years ago? Read the room. Look around you. Look at what other developers, and it's turned what, like I say, should be an absolute home run, because all you have to do, for me, with an Avengers game, right, make it look good, because we're in a modern era. Make it play good, and then anything else on top of that. Given you've got to remember, a lot of people playing this, us included, have come from an era where licensed games were shit. Like, there's no nice way of saying it. I can remember a Wolverine game a few generations ago that was good. Licensed games aren't shit anymore. I don't know if there was. I would love to know if there was ever a discussion on the table of, look, can we get the likenesses? Because as much as it's a shitty thing to say, that very first reveal when all anyone talked about was, that doesn't look like Thor, that doesn't look like that one, that doesn't look like that one. It's stuck to it, and it has never been able to shake it. That's really not fair. But I just wonder if there was ever a discussion about it. And if not, I kind of wonder why not, because it's got to have been signed off on. We all know how Disney are. Everyone's talked about Disney and how they are like that. It's mad to me that this game isn't just like the success story. It's mad to me that they put the service element in there but didn't learn from games that have failed. Like, I really want... I nearly bought it on Xbox because my PlayStation 5's literally sat here next to me. I play it out here, and I wanted to sit and play it in my lounge, and I nearly bought it, and I was like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why are you thinking this? You know, it's... I want this game... I feel like the game part is better than it's given any credit for. Really, a lot better. It's fun to play.
It's fantastic.
It's not mind-blowing. It's not like revolutionary, but it is fun to play. And it's really weird.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Moving on. Do we have... I've lost the question in the chat. Steve Chambers, any thoughts on the new Life is Strange news, my dudes? Anyone have anything thought about that? They basically...
Yeah.
So it's not going to be episodic.
Yeah.
It's out September. Life is Strange, True Colours. Yeah, made by...
Do you know...
I can't remember, but not Don't Nod.
Don't Nod. No,
You
is
know,
that
it's
made
not
by
made
Don't
by
Nod?
them.
No.
No.
I thought it was. Oh, is it not?
No, I believe it's not. I'm just trying to find. So you guys
Well,
carry on. Deck 9 is Deck 9 Games.
I only
Deck 9, yeah, sorry.
played the first one from start to finish, and I thought it was a big hairy ball bag. I didn't really.
Wow.
I like the first
Well, the
one.
first one.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh
in.
man.
I know. Look, that's the thing. If someone connects with that kind of game, I get it. But it was too hip. It was too.
I'm gonna.
Hella hip,
I
would you say?
believe you, like, because
It just got me.
No, I completely agree, and I feel
Yeah.
that's where it is now, and it's as if it's become too self-aware of itself.
Yeah.
It's like I watched the Square Enix Presents like a couple of hours ago, and when it came up, it was just like the same game. It just looked like it's some quirky little town.
I want to stop you there because I don't want you to walk yourself into a cul-de-sac, because it is worth saying that for the first time in Life is Strange, this game's going to be rendered using full performance capture technology. So rather than being
I've seen I've seen because the trailer that I watched, it's got the lead actor doing the movements for Amy, I think the lead character is, and it's like the supernatural power is that she could see empathy, like she could see people's emotions, and she could choose to harness them, but it could make her emotions boil over. And it's just like the first one was very much kind of subtle. The story was like, there were moments in that story which like really do hit you. Like, I can't, because people might still want to play it, but like by episode 3, like it really kind of hit me. That story is excellent, but it was very cliched with the whole like indie teen love story, and it kind of never changed from that.
Yeah, there's a tremendous chapter in a school in the first one that I thought was the best thing about that game, and then there was like another moment of dancing on a bed that I just was like, is this game trying to just kill me here? Because like it just, you'd be like, whoa, look what's going on here. Like it, but I understand why people can enjoy that kind of game. I just haven't played the second one. It didn't look like it was going to do much.
When you say the second one,
I tried to play Before the Storm.
Okay, so Before the Storm I did play. I didn't. What was the one that recently came out? The one that had like the free demo.
That was actually quite good.
What was that? Captain Underpants or something? Wasn't it?
Captain Underpants.
You're on about the one with the transsexual.
I never actually played the main game. I only played the demo, so it was like, look, I'm gonna have to Google it.
So
Life is Strange, Captain.
You know about one with
Spirit.
the brothers,
Captain
two brothers.
Spirit. The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit was like the
Captain
demo
Underpants
for.
Is way better.
And then there was
whatever it was actually called.
Oh, hang on. I'm thinking of Tell Me Why. That wasn't Life
that
is
was
Strange,
Don't Nod.
was it?
Jesus.
I don't know.
That was called Tell Me Why, but it wasn't.
So
Life
you're
is
kind
Strange.
of, but you're kind of hitting. You're kind of hitting what I have a problem with, and probably won't play this game, is that I feel like these games had, and it's mostly Telltale's fault, but they had this real powerful period where there was so many of them, and we were all loving them, and then everyone just stopped playing them, and stopped. They didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, like they mention in here that like music's going to be a big
too
deal.
old and miserable.
It could be that you've
Chris,
aged out
don't
of it.
say that.
No, I
It's got
think it
Radiohead
is.
in
You
it. It's got
know,
Radiohead.
I think I'm just
Radiohead
a
are in
bit of
it.
a
Phoebe
cynical
Bridgers.
twat. But that's another thing.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
With adverts and TV shows, hang on. With adverts and TV shows, they find like a rock song and they just slow it down and think that's a great cover. It's not. Stop doing it. Like with every song I can think of, even if it's like something that's a bit heavier, like the Calling, wherever you
know
go.
to blame for
that's
this.
not like proper rock.
It's Cliff Blazinski. Mad World.
I think I say Cliff Richard.
No, that would be amazing if Cliff Richard were in it.
Cliffy R.
No, it's Cliffy B, wasn't it? Do you remember when the first Gears of War came out and we got the cover of
Gears of War.
Mad World? Yeah, and that was that's the first one I remember,
Yeah.
and since then that successful trailer. What was the Nirvana one recently? That made me want to hurt someone. Like, was it "Come as You Are"?
Oh.
And it was like, "Come as you are, As you, and it made me want. It really made me want to hurt. So I'm sure it was "Come as You Are," and it really made me just want to. Dark thoughts.
Have you heard the Tori Amos cover of Teen Spirit? Have you ever heard
so.
Tori Amos's cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit"?
I don't think so.
No. Is it good? No. Or
Piano. It's all on piano.
I could play it to our audience. I just
she released.
I
thought she released it posthumously after Kurt Cobain died, but it was released while they were alive. And I could
it.
play a snippet of it. I don't know. Actually, it probably. We don't monetize this pod anyway, so I could play like a small snippet. Oh, you don't want that. It's got a Grammarly advert playing first. I'll mute that and we'll.
I'll say something though. It's completely. It's completely like it's on topic.
Hang on,
it's kind of a different thing. But you might be all just going, "Oh God, I'm not a big Nirvana fan."
See, I am,
and I totally know. I love Nevermind. I do love Nevermind.
That's all you get.
But I don't.
Wow.
Like it's like the Beatles. Like people love the Beatles, but I can't stand the Beatles. But I appreciate them.
The Beatles.
But like Nirvana, I'm a huge fan of Nirvana.
Yeah.
What?
Jesus Christ! Adam's saying the Beatles. Right, another question. Ben Wild's got another one for us.
Do you like the Beatles, Adam Cook?
What do you mean? Of course I like the Beatles. Why don't you? What's wrong with you?
I don't. I've just said I don't like them as well.
I didn't hear that.
I've just said like it's like Nirvana. Like people don't like Nirvana, but they could appreciate them.
You couldn't hear it, but
like
I was playing the clip of the Tori Amos to the stream. So I couldn't hear you for a second, and I missed that. But
fair enough. I understand the relevance because without Beatles, there wouldn't be most bands, but I just don't get them.
Steve's got a point in chat.
Yeah.
Steve's got a point in chat. The only cover that, and he's right, "Hurt" by Johnny Cash. Better than the original. Better than the original.
Yeah. But that's not.
That's not a banger.
The original "Hurt" was quite slow and miserable anyway, wasn't it? I'm kind of talking about
that video.
Young men and women who decide to slow down a track that shouldn't be slowed down. Like that, like. Well,
it's not for you. Stop slowing them down, all right? Stop slowing them down. Ben Wild says,
not every song needs to be miserable.
I know, Chris. I agree with you.
Sorry, you've got me on my eye.
I agree with you, though. I agree with you.
I know. No, I don't. I'm not going to go to you.
I genuinely.
You shouldn't worry, Chris. Adam likes the Beatles, and that's that. You know.
Yeah.
With your Sgt. Peppers.
Just look. Let me ask Ben Wild's question, lads. Come on now. Outriders.
Sorry, Ben.
Review score guesses here: 6, 7, or 8. He's only given them 3 choices: 6, 7, or 8 that you predict it will get. I think it's as close to 7 or possible 8. He also says, "Love your reviews, guys. I hope the channel gains its subscribers." Thank you, Ben Wild. We agree with those sentiments.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, mate.
I think we're going to have to guess the overall, not just our review. I think we're going to have to guess. What do you think this is going to get?
Overall,
I think. Go on, Chris.
7.
Sort of 70 on
7.
Metacritic, sort of.
7? Yeah, 7 to 8.
Yeah,
Nothing. No way is that getting higher.
Adam, what do you reckon? Outriders.
Yeah, I'm going to say 7 Sgt. Peppers out of 10.
So 70. I'm going to go I'm going to go about a 68. I'm going to go a 68, I reckon. Deadbeat Punk, you're my guy. Maxwell's Silver Hammer is a tune. Where are we? So there's some comments I'll quickly read out. Steve says, the new power, being the power of empathy, is a bit meh. I have the power of noticing and being mindful of others too. Where's my game? Bit angry, Steve. Thomas K says, so Adam Carroll is not hip enough for Life is Strange. Adam, I didn't want to tell you this, but Thomas has brought this up. You're getting old. Last question, unless we get any more on the live in the live chat. Deadbeat Punk, who changes his name every week for the podcast question, has called himself Dead Wankered Poosa, and he says, I should probably prove himself to foil our devious plan. Drunken teenage logic. So we put a Mars bar down the back of his boxers instead. Did you inflict or receive any house party abuse that you can or will talk about on a recording? Bonus points as always for Croc. I sort of have a story I'm happy to tell, but it's less abuse and more one of the most impressive things I've ever seen related to a house party. A friend of mine went on holiday and left his teenage sons, maybe young adult sons, at home. They were old enough to be left on their own. And Mum and Dad went away. had their holiday, had a great time, and came back fully expecting exactly what you would think would happen when you leave young men at home. Piss-ups, parties every night. Nothing. They came home and they were literally like, the house is exactly as we left it. Not that we're sad or anything, but we thought you might have had a party or something. And they just went, oh, yeah, no, we're good kids, sort of thing. Years later, when they're adults and this topic comes up again, and it would, can't believe you didn't have a party that time we went on holiday. Oh, we did. We had one every single night. What? Yeah, but what we did is we took loads of photos on the digital camera of every room in the house so that after the party we could put everything back exactly as we left it. And it's like,
genius.
Fucking hell. Prime Minister, can you I'll vote for you. Like, that is just the best, cleverest thing. Yeah. I mean, a mate of mine shit himself, but I mean, that's beside the point. That's just a house party, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't,
I think everyone has to endure a friend taking a poo.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah. And, washed his pants in my sink and everything. I still see that sometimes when I shut my eyes. Don't know why I followed him. Knew what he was doing. Knew what had happened. Don't know why I followed him. Anyone else? House party stories?
Morbid curiosity.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think like the one that comes to mind that happened to me was we were playing a gig in Nottingham in Rock City.
Hey!
I used to love when we played in Nottingham because it was just a good night out, and that venue was brilliant. You used to just have
Awesome.
Like 3 floors or something anyway.
Yeah.
And it was just you just get lost in it, and there was always random music in each room, and we used to stay there and make sure we'd have a good session, whatever. So we were there and played the show afterwards, got pissed, whatever. And one of the bar staff she said to us, oh, I'm having a little gathering afterwards at my place when I come. I was like, yeah, great. So we all went back to the house and we were sitting in the room. There was a couple of us there and everyone was having a good time. And I got that, that's that feeling of spins, and you're just like, people are talking to you, and you're just like, yeah. It's sick. And you need to figure out what's happening. So I kind of got up and just kind of went out of the room as sly as I could. And I went into the kitchen, and I found in the kitchen there was a humongous counter. And I was like, oh. So I just got on the counter and I just lied straight down like this on the counter. I was like, grand. I just said, I'll be alone here now for a while and I'll get myself together. Fell asleep. And then I woke up I was just like this, and it was laughing behind me, and I was like, oh. And I kind of turned, and it was like 3 of the lads and the band were just standing there absolutely laughing, taking a photo. My guitarist was after pulling down my pants and sticking a load of cigarettes into my ass, and then he just lit them all and just like let them all burn down. Fucking desperate, like. I don't need that at all. So,
mate.
That's what they told you they did. You don't even know what they did while you were unconscious.
It's an eventful evening.
I mean, to be honest with you, Chris, unless you've got a banger, that seems like a good way to go out, really, doesn't it? The story,
I have no. I'm afraid nothing. No, I've never had anything happen to me. I've never done anything to anybody. I'm a very good boy.
Never pulled your pants down, put your glasses over your penis to make you look like a foreign lad. No, never.
I've done that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's just ever done the fruit bowl?
Yeah, I do.
No, never pulled your pants down.
I've drawn 2 eyes on my arse cheeks and revealed the mouth.
See, I think it's hilarious when you're that age how much we get our arses out.
Oh God, yeah,
There's
you try and keep my penis in its pants. At that point, it's just yeah. Yeah. Well, and on that note, thank you very much for joining us. No, it's fine, Ad. It's done. It's been said.
No, I leave this one off.
Yeah. Maybe if you're thinking twice about it, might. And given this is live, maybe shelf that until you've cleared it with the correct legal authorities. If you enjoyed this, go to patreon.com/GodIsAGeek, where you'll be able to download the audio version early, and we'll keep the video version up for our Patreons. We have a Discord which is full of a wonderful group of people, community that is growing, and it's literally $1 a month. So like for, I don't know, it depends where you're from, $10 to $12 a year, or like a tenner a year, I guess it works out at. If you're over in the UK. what's that in euros, Adam? 10, 15 euros, or is it less? I don't know. I can't remember exchange rates. But anyway, patreon.com/GodIsAGeek, and you can get part of the Discord community. You can get the code drops. You can get the exclusive videos, the extra podcast, which I really enjoyed the most recent one about comedy and accents. You can follow us on all social medias at GodIsAGeek on Facebook, Twitter, the usual stuff. And if you haven't done it before, really would appreciate a little bit of a thumbs up on the old YouTube, and if you could leave a review on iTunes or whatever podcast software you used to listen to it, that's really helpful as well. Adam and Chris, as I find the button now for the outro, thank you very much for being here with me, and thank you for being on the podcast. Appreciate it. And everybody else,
Thank you, man.
We will see you live or on record, but whatever, we'll see you next week or whenever you choose to listen. Bye-bye for now.